Good evening, everyone. So I am Ankita Pai, research scholar, Aegis School of Data Science. On behalf of Aegis School of Data Science, I welcome you all for this webinar. So before starting the webinar, I would just like to introduce Professor Cyrus Lentin, sir. So just a brief introduction about sir. Uh, Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Ankita.
Yes, sir. So I would just like to give a brief introduction about you before we start. So he has 35 years plus industry experience with extensive domain expertise in data management, messaging, and infrastructure. Information technology expert with hands-on experience in product management, release delivery management, software development management, information systems. Track record of success platforms covering Java, LAMP, .NET and Android, creating robust architectures and infrastructures and problem solving with ability to use IT to address business issues, providing effective, scalable, yet simple to use solutions. He has been certified lead auditor for ISO 9001 and ISO 27001, have played pivotal role in implementation of ISO 9001 and ISO 27001 in his organization. Completed training for certified ethical hacker, black blot, product management, mobile application development. Having worked in companies like Quantum Link and Minecraft, currently he heads his own company, Maexdata Solutions LLP, which provides solutions in big data. So covering Hadoop, Java MapReduce, Fig, Hive, Impala, HBase, and Scoop. Data analytics and machine learning using Python and R. He's also proficient in BI tools like Tableau and Power BI. In 2021, so Maexdata Solutions LLP was nominated by CIO Review as top 10 most promising machine learning consultants. So I welcome you, sir, and just handing over it to you.
Thank you, Ankita.
Yes, sir.
Sharing my screen, guys.
Yeah.
So just one or two things I would like to talk about myself before I start anything else. I'm also an extensively trainer. I train in MBA colleges. I train in technical institutes, Aegis being one of them. I've trained a lot of corporates. Obviously, as you all must have realized, I specialize in machine learning. But I also have extensive proficiency in Tableau, Power BI, simple tools like Excel and Hadoop. There's also an ETL tool called Talent. With this, let me go on to the main. We are here to understand how to handle interviews, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So I believe I am the right person to guide you because I headed a team of close to 50 technical guys in quantum link communications and another 75 in Minecraft. I've extensively interviewed people and I know what we are looking for. So I can give you my side of the perspective so that you all are better prepared for it. In an interview, what are we looking for? There are 4 skills which we constantly look for in the candidate. Soft skills, communication skills, technical skills, and other important issues. This is very important. We'll talk more about it. When you say soft skills, what are we looking for? We are looking at, do we have management skills, organizing skills? Are you a team player, leader? Are you showing willingness to learn, showing initiative? Are you ethical? Do you have integrity? Are you dependable? Do you have reliability? And above all, punctuality and timeliness. These soft skills play a major role at whatever position you are. You might be a junior position, but still you need to be a team player. You might be in a junior position, but you need to show initiative. You don't need to show willingness to learn. It goes without saying that you need to have ethics and integrity, complete honesty, complete truthfulness. All your project deliveries should be timely. Punctuality, very, very important. So don't think that soft skills is only for senior people. This is right from start. A fresher also requires soft skill. A fresher also requires communication skill. What are we looking for in communication? Grammar. This is English grammatically correct. Good accent. Is he confident while speaking? Now, why is all this important? All this is important because we need to judge whether this candidate can be a client-facing candidate or should he be kept behind the curtains. Person, you might not require to face the client. So all this thing may not be very important. But if you have all these possibilities, then it's an added plus point for you that you are a client-facing junior executive, which is plus point. In technical skills, you are all students of data science. So we are looking at 3 technical skills. Basic stats or basic computer science. That means you need to know properly about all the Windows command and your operating system commands, your DBMS, your Linux, your servers, and data science. What are the questions you will ask in data science? We'll talk about that later. Other issues. This is most important. When you're talking with your superior, what are you talking about in terms of response? How are you framing your response? Are you fumbling? Are you answering to the point? Are you understanding what the what the superior is telling you and responding accordingly? Are you able to handle pressure? Please understand, IT industry and therefore the data science industry by extension is a very high pressure job. There are deadlines galore. You will be handling multiple projects and you will have to handle multiple deadlines. Are you able to handle the pressure? Just a small feedback, guys. Are you able to understand me clearly?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Anybody who does not understand English, I can talk in Hindi also. Okay, so everybody understands English. If at any point if there are any questions, please feel free to stop me. Stop me at that moment itself. Am I clear, guys?
Sure, sir. Sure.
Okay. Sharing my screen again. So we'll talk about some common questions that you will be asked. Most important, or one of the first questions they'll ask you is tell me about yourself. In reality, the interviewer doesn't want to know about you. He already has your resume. It is more than sufficient. So what is he checking? He's checking your communication skill. He's checking your presentation skills. What do you need to do? Keep your answer to the point. Be work specific. Talk about academics or experience. Talk about your achievements. What makes you excited about this specific opportunity? Do your company research, find out what is the strength and qualities for this specific position, and in your answer show the hiring manager you possess these. Don't dive into your life story. Don't dive into your family history. My father is doing this, my brother is doing this, my elder sister is married. All that is not required. The hiring manager doesn't want to hear about that. Don't go on about experience that you have that is not related to the job you are interviewing for. There are many people who switch lines. I have a lot of talk about experience in data science, isn't it? That's what you need to do. To a certain extent, tell me about yourself is a question which also is a loosener. That means it is trying to make you comfortable. So you start talking, and if you fumble here, God help you, you are fumbling at the first step. It's a negative mark, definitely, isn't it? This is a loaded question. Why should we hire you? What is the intent behind this? It is to check your confidence level. Please understand one thing, guys. Most of you are freshers, isn't it? Yes or no? Come on, guys, make it interactive. Shardul has answered. Others?
So there are people with experience also here. Like I have 6 years of experience, and then currently I'm on a career break of 4 years.
Okay. So the type of questions that will be asked for a 6-year-old person, are you in the same field or you sort of change your career?
Oh, so I was working as a data analyst earlier, and now I
Okay.
would want to join as a data scientist.
Which is
More or less
related.
similar. Yes, sir.
More or less related. So the question that you will be asked might be slightly different from the other freshers. If you're switching from a non-data career, for example, you are in sales or marketing, and then shifting into data analyst or data scientist job, then you'll be treated on par with a fresher. The type of questions that will be asked will be similar to that. Is that clear?
Yes, sir. Very well.
Guys, please answer verbally. I can't read your the chat while I'm sharing my screen. So please answer verbally. Okay, let's proceed. So the point I'm trying to make is that for freshers, what type of responsibility do you think you will get to start with? Will a company who hires you directly put you in charge of a machine learning solution?
No, sir.
No, sir. A lot of time you'll be spending on data cleaning, data organizing, data handling, isn't it? Yes or no, guys?
Yes, sir.
So please understand the type of questions that you are going to be asked will be already covered in your technical round. Your technical paper is already covering your technical skills. Here, what is being checked more is your soft skills and non-tech skills. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Your
Clear.
interview round is more to check your other skills other than your technical skills. Your technical skills is already covered with the written technical round, isn't it? You will be having a written technical round, and that will cover your technical knowledge. So more emphasis is going to be on your non-tech skills. To check your confidence level, why should we hire you? You have to think of that answer well in advance, why you are the perfect fit for the job. You have to be the candidate that solves the problems. This is very important. If you are providing solution to the problems, you are the best fit. And you have to narrate a success story that highlights how you have the qualities needed to fill the specific needs. Again, you have to be a problem solver, a solution provider. Now, this is a loaded question. There are many hiring managers who will say there are lots of people who are well qualified. Why should we hire you? There are other people who scored much more technical in the technical round. Why should we hire you? So this is basically what is called as a stress follow-up. They want to see how you answer in stress. Why should I give you the job? Do you think you're suitable for the job profile? This is what is called as the stress follow-up. Stress follow-up questions. They are trying to judge how you react to questions like, there are many people who are already qualified. Why should we hire you? What is the need? And they might be aggressive, but you still have to be very calm and you must still stick to your stories out here. Please do not ever talk about why you need the job. You are in financial difficulty and you need the job, etc., etc. Please don't talk about that. While talking about your success story, don't sound too arrogant. Any questions on this?
So I have a question, sir.
Yeah, please.
So how do you sound confident without sounding too arrogant while answering this question?
How do you sound confident without being arrogant?
Yes, sir.
It's very simple. Just state facts and don't go into superlatives.
Okay, so just have faith in my skills and present it to them.
Yeah, you state the facts rather than saying I'm very, very good. That is arrogant. I'm the best person to solve this problem. Arrogant. I'm sure I can solve this problem. I'm confident I can solve this problem. You see, there's a line which divides confidence and arrogance.
Okay, yes, sir. Thank you.
One of the good ways to put across any success story is to talk about the numbers.
Sir, one question here.
Yeah, please.
Yes, sir. Many a times in interviews, we do get counter backs, and continuously we are getting the counters, and the point comes where we are not able to speak anything. So, how to answer such type of questions?
The counters are what is called as the stress follow-up. They are evaluating you, how you are going to answer in stress.
Okay,
Now,
so yeah.
It is basically your ability to answer. What does that point to? Going back to the first slide, second slide, it's your ability to respond. And that is what is being evaluated, isn't it? How are all questions which are basically trying to find weakness in your profile. So you must try to answer these questions. There are two ways when you feel you don't have any answer. There are two ways. You can either agree with it, agree with the manager saying, yes, I completely agree with you. Second, you can flatly say, I have no response to that because I don't have experience to that. Both are acceptable answers to me. But are we clear?
Yes, sir.
You must respond something. We are seeing how you are trying to fabricate your response. How are you going to frame your response? This is to check your self-awareness. What are you aware of? And we must always highlight a strength which is crucial to that position. Time for a data analysis job, which involves a lot of data transformation and cleaning. So you can talk about that. If you're applying for a machine learning job, you can talk about some project where you did very well. You must talk about the numbers in that project. You're talking about accuracy at so and so percentage. You're talking about RMSE at 10 point something. Only when you talk numbers are you able to impress people. I had a very good accuracy. This is arbitrary. Find out what strengths the company is looking at. Don't make false claims or claims which you can't illustrate with a brief example. Don't be overly modest, but don't claim to be the best person on earth. Don't name a strength that is irrelevant to the job. I had one candidate who said, I am very good at cricket. And he had applied for a IT position. It shows his self-awareness, but is it really required? Very corollary to that, what are your weaknesses? Again, it checks your self-awareness. Show that you are aware of your weakness and what you have done to overcome it. It shows that you are aware and you have the ability to step to improve yourself. Now, one of the tricks I have learned is to turn our strength into a weakness. For example, if you ask me what is my weakness, I would say my weakness is never give up. I will keep, even if I'm not able to succeed, I'll keep at it, I'll prod, and try to find a solution. And sometimes this is counterproductive. I know. I realize that I'm self-aware. Because I have to deliver things on time. So there is a point beyond which I have to close that issue, pass it on, take help of superior, refer to somebody else, whatever is required. Basically ask for help. But that is also actually my strength. It is a tenacity. Important thing, don't dodge this question. I don't have any weakness. I'm a perfectionist. I will not make any weakness. Or boy, you are in trouble. Any questions, guys?
No, sir.
Okay. Why do you want to work for us? For me, this was a very, very important question. Candidate has researched about the company and research. You are coming to me after having looked at the company, so you know what my company is. You like what you heard or read, and you like the. You have to show that how your strengths are aligned with the job position and the company culture. Is to come out as saying that this is going to be a stopgap arrangement. I'm looking out for a better job, or I'm planning to go to US. Fill that 6 months. Again, as I said, don't say because I need money, I'm desperate for a job. That is not the type of person I'm looking for. Please understand, each and every question has an intent. If you are able to understand what is the intent, why the interviewer is asking you that question, you will be able to answer accordingly. If you don't understand that, then you are in trouble. Any questions here?
No, sir.
Why did you leave your last job? This is typically for experienced people. The intent is to check stability. Will you leave your new job, this job, in the next 6 to 9 months? Nobody wants short-term players. Why? Please understand, from the company point of view, you will be trained in the processes for the first 3 to 4 months. So that is completely, you are completely unproductive. By yourself, handling things by yourself in the next 6 to 8 months. So over a year, you have not done anything really great for the company. It is only after the year is complete that you start generating returns for the company. That is the simple rule, thumb rule that everybody looks at. So everybody wants somebody who's at least going to stay with them for 3, 4 years. In an IT industry, 2 years also is acceptable. But if you show your intent that if you want to leave between 6 and 1 year, 6 months, 1 year, then obviously the stability is not there. in this, please understand, do not talk ill about your last company or boss or anything on those lines. This is very important. No backbiting. Don't say it's time for a career switch and I would like to try my hand at the job that you're offering. It is like saying I'm tired of doing the same old thing. You might want to say the same thing as a career switch, but you give a positive reason why you want to do that. And lastly, don't lie if you are fired, if you are laid off. Be upfront about it that you've been laid off. Today it's not a red herring that to be laid off. Everybody gets laid off. It's a very common boom. People offer you top salaries. When there is bust, people will lay you off. That's the rule of the industry. That's the rule of the game. When you're laid off, words like downsizing, budget cuts, bad economy are good defense. But provided they should be true. Any questions on this?
No, sir.
Okay. This is again a loaded question. What is your greatest accomplishment? Please talk about your projects which you've done. If you're an experienced person, you can talk about your past experience and work experience. If you're a fresher, there's no work experience to talk about. So you have to talk about the projects which you have done. Whether you are an individual performer or a team person can easily come out. Basically, we have to talk about how you are a perfect fit for the company and the position. Guys, this is your greatest accomplishment. So please show a lot of passion while talking about this. There should be certain excitement in your voice. Yeah, this is something I've achieved. It's like people setting a record. Cricketer sets a record. When he talks about it, there's a certain passion. Yeah, I've done something great. And don't think your accomplishment is too small. Whatever it is, please talk about that with passion. As long as it is in line with what the company values. And what are the two things that company values most? What are the two things which company values most?
Initiative.
Again, soft skill. Directly, which any place where you have done some cost cutting or cost saving is valued a lot. Is that clear? So one is cost cutting, cost saving. Second is process improvement. If you have suggested any process improvement and that has been accepted by the company, that's again something very much to be taken credit. IT and data science. Right from documentation to the way you're going to program, the way your program structure is there, the way you have file naming convention, variable naming convention. There are so many conventions that you'll get tired of it. And within all that, there's still some processes to be done. And if you show some process improvement, it genuinely helps everybody. You see, it's really, really appreciated. Any questions on this? This was my favorite question. I used to ask this a lot. Describe a difficult work situation and what did you do to overcome it? Check the qualities and skills required for the job. And here, what is also being checked is interpersonal skills. Because a lot of times the difficult work situation happens because of interpersonal skills. Pick an example to show that you're tackling a problem that could arise at a new company you're interviewing for. Be specific, fairly concise, use the situation, task, action, result. Explain the situation. What was the task on hand? What was the action you did and what was the result? Two members of my team were not getting along. They were both blaming lapses in work on each other. It's a situation. You can't work like that. What is the task on hand? The task is that to bring both these guys on the table, talk to them, and make them understand how it is affecting the team performance. What did we do? I got them on the table together and asked them to formulate a plan to improve this. So they become the means to solve the problem. I had to boost their ego a little bit, but the result was good. They started taking active interest in the achievement of the task, and therefore the result was good. Always the result may not be good. In this, please understand, do not blame anybody, do not bash anybody, he was not good, he is not good, and don't tell tall stories. Any questions on this, guys?
No, sir.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Basically, we are checking career goals and ambition. We are also checking whether you will remain in this company, you have career progression with this company in mind, or using this company as a stepping stone to go somewhere else. There are many companies which have no problem in relieving the employees after 2 years or 3 years. They are mentally prepared because they know after 2 years, 3 years, they will not be able to match salaries of the top 4. But you still get an idea of what is the level of commitment to the position, and that is there a realistic growth strategy. So the idea is out here, you must test your interest in a long-term career at the company. You are interested in a long-term career at the company, that is a good career goal. If you say that I'm here only for 2 or 3 months, and after 3 months I'm going to look for a job in US or going for further education in US, what are you doing? This is just a stepping stone. You are not showing a commitment to this company. Don't exaggerate. Don't say you want to be the CEO of the company in the next 5 years. And don't tell the hiring manager, within 5 years, I'll be occupying your position. He might not like it. Nobody likes. Are we good about this?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions for me? This question is asked generally towards the end of the interview. What are we doing? What is the intent behind this? You have to check whether the research is done by you on the company or the organization you are interviewing for. Always have a couple of questions based around something you found during your company research. It is not a good idea to say, no, I have no questions, I am good. This is too early to talk about your salary, about your benefits, how many leave. You can definitely ask about career progression. You can definitely ask about what are the trainings that you will be able to get from the company. Anything about learning and development is a welcome question. Anything about career progression is a welcome question. Again, don't ask about company financials. If it's a public limited company, you have it in the share market, you'll have it in the sites like Money Control. If it's a private limited company, it's none of your business in any case. This is some question which you should ask only if you are very, very confident about yourself. Ask, is there any reason why the hiring manager will not hire you? Do you see any negatives in me that I may not be suitable for this job? So if the guy starts talking about the negatives, it allows you to think about it for the next time. And if you can address it, if you can address the negative, it gives you a chance to address something that is negative in the head, and it's now, because you have addressed it, it's positive. So this can be one of the good questions to ask. Is there any reason why you will not hire me? Don't talk about reasons, talk about qualities. Do I lack any qualities, or do I have any qualities for which you think I'm not suitable for this position? To a certain extent, I agree that this question goes against this. It is focusing yourself. But then that is one exception I will make. Any questions on this?
No, sir.
There are other queries which I'm just showing the intent. You can frame your own response to that. If I ask your friends to describe you, what they would say? The intent is to find how you work in teams. Because your friends are going to give out negative feedback if you are a loner. Tell me about the worst boss you had. This is a very, very bad question. In spite of the fact that the boss was worst, you have to show how you handle the situation. You have to show what experience and lessons were learned. You can't talk bad about the boss completely. What is the worst team member in your project? Again, how the situation was handled, how the project was impacted. Tell me about the time you failed. You can talk about an honest time where you failed in the project, but more important is to understand that the experience and lessons that you learned from that. Tell me about the project you worked on, which required heavy analytical thinking. You're checking your competency. Many a times you will be asked unrelated questions. What is the book you are reading currently? Are you keeping up with the latest industry trends? What is your intellectual level? And in IT, this is quite often asked. How does your family feel about working long hours? Intent is to be very clear about whether you're flexible working with long hours. Any questions so far?
No, sir.
So I've shared some links out here, again, which is advice to you how to handle top 20 interview questions or top 30 interview questions. So this will help you understand how to answer the questions. Any questions, guys, so far? I'll be sharing this slide with you. Ankita ma'am or Misbah ma'am will receive these slides from me and they will share it with you.
Thank you, sir.
Any questions?
No, sir.
Okay, let's take a look at some of the responses. What are your career goals? You can talk about short-term career goals or long-term career goals. My short-term goal is to get a job in the required company where I can utilize my skills and improve my career path. My long-term goal is to be in a respectable position. Substitute this respectable position with an actual position name in the organization. You can talk about being a team lead or a tech lead or a tech manager, product manager, but don't talk about becoming a CEO. What are your strengths? You can talk about any of these. Again, you have to link all this towards the career and the company. See how is the weakness handled. I cannot say no when somebody asks me for help. That means this is a very helpful person. But he's treated his strength as a weakness, because he can be loaded with so many tasks that he will not be able to complete all. These are all trust people very quickly. Again, this is strength. I take decisions very quickly. This is a strength, but in certain times this can be a weakness. Get nervous when talking to strangers. I don't know. How would I put it? I don't like talking to strangers, definitely. But if it was a marketing position, I would want people to be able to talk to any people. A client-facing position this is a negative. But otherwise, I'm fine with this. It's important to thank your past company or current company where you left, what have you learned there? And then go forward saying that I want to learn more, and therefore I'm switching for personal growth as well as financial growth. It's all right to mention financial growth. If you tell me you're switching jobs, but you're not interested in a higher salary, I think you're lying. So it's all right to say I'm looking for a higher salary, financial growth. Instead of saying higher salary, financial growth is a better term. And obviously, you should always talk about your learning, your career progression, your career development. What is the salary you expect? As a fresher, never say this is your salary expectation. You just say as per company policy, company norms. An experience can share his current salary and then say, I want so much % jump. That is again accepted. For a fresher, it's very important to say that salary is not the priority for me, even though it is. I want to start learning from this organization and contributing to this organization and gain experience. After that, everything will follow. Any questions on this?
So is it okay if you don't mention your previous CTC? Or if they ask you what it is, you deny, or you like ask them another question?
They will ask you the previous CTC, and they will also ask you proof of your previous CTC.
Okay.
So it is
And then
unlikely that
what if you're switching industries?
you still have to give your previous CTC if you are experienced. There's no escape to that.
Okay.
I've known people who've taken a drop in the salary when they're switching industries. Please understand, guys, not proof of your CTC. So they'll ask you to give last 3 salary, etc. Why should I hire you? As a fresher, I want to learn and I want to gain experience. If you are an experienced person, you can say, I want to contribute to the company. You have to show I've also prepared some questions that you might be asked on stats and data science. You want to see that?
Yes, sir.
Some of them are downright simple, but it goes on increasing in complexity. What is the measure of central? What is mean median mode? Can you see that both the questions answers will be the same? What is the difference in computing sample mean and population mean? What is standard deviation? Why is standard deviation important? As a fresher, you will not be asked anything out of this. Most of the time, you will be asked this. Again, I will be sharing this with you. Apart from this, every algorithm you should be knowing a crisp definition of the algorithm. So if it's decision tree, you should be having 2 or 3 lines about decision tree. If it's random forest, you should be able to give the random forest definition in 2 or 3 lines. It should be very crisp. Similarly, for linear regression, there are many algorithms. Elastic neck, lasso. What are these? Ridge. These are different algorithms for linear regression. But you should have a very crisp response to that. That is very, very important. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Any questions, guys?
No
If
question.
there are no further questions, we'll wind up. I hope you all have found this useful.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely, sir.
Please understand why the interviewer is asking you the question, and then you will be able to respond very, very well. If you don't understand the intent behind the question, you will be floundering for words. Isn't it? But if you know why the question is being asked, then you can just frame your response accordingly. So Ankita ma'am or Misbah ma'am will send you, I will forward you these slides and presentation.
Sure, sir.
Sir, I have one question.
Yes, please, Aditya, go ahead.
Yes, sir. For the part where you said, where the interviewer asks our salary expectation. So for the people who are experienced, but as a fresher in data science, so what would be their response?
You'll have to go as per the company policy.
Okay.
Because you are as good as a fresher. See, if you are coming from a related line, for example, if you're a data analyst and then you're going into data science, then you can say my past salary as a data analyst or so and so, and I still would like a 20%, 30% jump, a less jump than a normal market jump. If you are going in the same field in the data science. But if you're coming from a completely different background, say from a sales and distribution background, you're coming into data science, then you have to go as per the company policy. My last salary was so and so, my last CTC was so and so, but I am willing to go as per the company policy. Obviously, it is up to you to decide whether when they give you the offer, isn't it?
Okay. And
So-
sir, what about the soft skill learns? Like, in the previous job, the previous experience, a person learns soft skills and things like
So
that.
that's why you will not start at the same level as a normal fresher with zero experience. That's why you are mentioning your CTC, and they will give you something, may not be the same CTC. There may be a drop in the CTC, but still it will be higher than the other freshers.
Okay, sir. Understood.
Anybody else would like to ask any questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
Go ahead,
ma'am,
Yuvraj.
so like I had a question, like other from whatever interview questions you would be, how do we answer some kind of questions like what are your hobbies or something? Like, do we need to build some hobbies related to the job or something, or like that kind of a thing?
Generally, I have seen people in IT industry, data science industry, they don't talk about hobbies. Typically, when are you talking about hobbies, etc., when you're looking at psychological or interpersonal skills, jobs requiring interpersonal skills, then you talk about hobbies. So HR guy definitely might be asked for his hobby, but IT guys generally are not bothered about what hobby you have.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Anyway, the safest to answer as far as hobby is concerned is reading. When you can say when you're reading, it is a vast subject. I read about latest IT trends. I can read about philosophy books. So the safest to answer in hobby is reading, if you ask. Does it make sense?
Thank you, sir.
Other participants, anybody would like to ask any questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
No, ma'am.
So thank you for your valuable time. On behalf of Aegis School of Data Science, I would like to thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody. I hope you all had a good session.
Yes,
and
sir.
it was useful to you.
Yes.
Bye,
yes.
guys.
Thank
Bye,
you,
sir.
sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.